Hi, boys and girls.
For the past 3 weeks in a row, I've driven nothing but Dodge Hellcats with gas-guzzling V8 engines and $100,000 price tags, so it's time to get something practical, like normal people drive. So let's see what we're rolling out today. A Hyundai Sonata, an excellent choice because it's an excellent car. I've driven these before. This is the souped-up inline version, which costs more money. We also tested and did a video on the 2021 Hyundai Sonata Hybrid, if you're interested in good fuel economy. And we also had the in-package in the Hyundai Veloster, designed to compete with the Honda Civic. We'll have a video on that also at the end of this video. Just go to the end, click and watch. At the base price of $23,000, the Sonata's always been a good value. The only problem is they didn't have any strong engines under the hood. They had a turbo 1.6 doing 180 horsepower, a 2.0 doing 197 horsepower, and a 2.5 at 191 horsepower, more than adequate for daily driving, but not that quick. This N-Series engine puts out 291 horsepower compared to the Honda Accord at 252, with the Toyota Camry at 301, but while the Toyota Camry has more horsepower, less torque at 267 pounds-feet of torque, this has a stunning 311 pounds-feet of torque for low-end grunt, hooked to an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. This is one of the first Sonata ends off the production line, so we don't have a miles per gallon figure for you. We also don't have a price tag, but I'm told it's $35,000. One of the first things we want to do when we get a vehicle is check and see if there's a spare tire. For $35,000, I would hope so. Yep, there it is. Nice large trunk, by the way. And as we do in all my videos, we want to take the headlights out in the dark and see what they do. I seem to be the only YouTube tester on the planet that does this. That's why you need to watch my videos instead of theirs. It's dark enough. Let's see what these headlights do. Look pretty bright. Here we have the low beams on the building 100 feet away. Pretty good light. High beams. Looks adequate to me. Here's what the rearview camera looks like in the dark. A good wide spread. Lights up pretty good. And you can see the various gauge cluster colors, depending on what mode you put the engine and other specs in. Easier to see in the dark than in the daytime. Nice light show. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away, going through a chain link fence. Looks pretty good. Go to low beam. Goes out around 80%. More than adequate. This is a very well-designed modern cabin. I did notice the rocker panels under the door are too wide, and you have this outside bodywork that's collecting a lot of gunk because of this wet weather, which is getting on my pants. Might want to keep some paper towels and wipe this down if you live in a wet climate. The glove box, decent size. Very simple climate controls. A nice gauge cluster. My favorite feature on this car is the push-button transmission controls. Far better than having a stick. The stick takes up room. This does not. The stick can get the wrong gear by accident. This isn't likely to do so. In fact, I don't even have to look if I'm changing gears. This is better than a stick and better than a knob. Consumer Reports doesn't like this setup, saying it's unintuitive, whatever that means. They don't know what they're talking about. This is the best setup, by far. I would like to see this on all cars. If you like to shift for yourself, no problem. Paddle shifters on the steering wheel where they belong. Always reachable. Unlike the steering column like the Italians do, which is stupid. Here's where they belong. Very easy to reach. My only complaint, we don't get a manual parking brake. Instead, we get an electronic parking brake. I cannot stand that crappy design. Thing already jammed up on me several times, couldn't get out of the driveway without pushing the parking brake release. Electric parking brakes stink. What happened to the old-fashioned parking brake on the floor? That doesn't take up any room either. But they did away with that stuff, probably because of cost, I don't know. Almost forgot, there's a drive mode switch. Is this supposed to be a performance version of the Sonata after all? Gives you custom, sport, sport plus, normal. Is there an eco mode somewhere on here? Well, I would never use it anyway. Alright, first half of the video, show and tell is over. Second half of the video, we're going to do some driving. We don't get blown away by this storm. It's getting pretty bad out here. I can tell this is electric power steering, but it has pretty good feel and feedback regardless of the mode you put it in. I don't think there will be any complaints. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take some mild speed humps around 20 miles per hour. See how the suspension performs on impact, and we do have this in the normal mode. Here comes bump number 1. Pretty smooth. Number 2. Number 3. And the nastiest one of all. Yeah, I felt that one. Nothing serious. Let's put this in the Sport Plus mode and see how it handles corners. A lot of body lean, but definitely sticking to the road. Wow. Not going to spin this baby out. Impressive. Car and Driver says this vehicle can do 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds, but first of all, they lie a lot, and secondly, I got wet pavement here instead of dry, so don't know if I could do it anyway. Let's get just one shot. In all fairness, this vehicle does have a launch control program, which I haven't used, but the roads are so wet, there's only no point in trying this, so if it gets drier, we'll go ahead and do it. If not, we won't. This isn't a drag racing car. This is a street car. And once it gets rolling around 10 miles per hour, this turbo really kicks in and offers a lot of power, so there's no doubt about that. 17.4 in heavy city driving. That's not very good. Let's take a highway trip. See if we can do better. Reset to 0. That's the difference between me and the fake YouTube car testers who never drive their cars and never give you the real fuel economy figures. We do real tests on my channel. That's why you need to watch me and not them. And there's one complaint I have right off the bat. I cannot get rid of this navigation. I don't want a map. I don't want to look at a map. I cannot turn this off. And I've gone through the menu for 3 days and I don't think I can turn it off. I don't want it. Well, maybe there's a way. Leave a comment in the comment section. I turn the map off on the display settings, but it doesn't go off. A lot of YouTube testers that complain about the ride quality on this vehicle, but I don't see what they're bitching about. If you put it in the normal mode and set the tire pressures the way they're supposed to be, it's pretty comfortable to me. I'm very surprised by the lack of wind noise. A very, very quiet car. Well, there you go, 29.9 mpg. Almost made the 30, but not quite. Let's do one more highway trip. We're on the gas side of the car. They've got about 100 miles left. I did better this time, 32.4. Can't complain about that. So what's my take on the Sonata after a week of driving? I've driven all the variations of the Sonata, the cheap models, the hybrid models, and this expensive model, and it's a very nice car. You should check it out. If you're in the market for a Honda Accord or Toyota Camry, this is a very good competitor. Here are some links to other Hyundai videos we've done. Click and watch.